everybody. Welcome out to the Log Room, guys. Craft Beer Show. It is Tuesday, October the 17th, 2023. Jersey Johnny coming at you. With me, as always, is none other than Mr. Spaghetti Boy himself. Or is it ZD Boy himself?
ZD.
The ZD Samurai. Welcome to the show, folks. How are you this evening, Mr. ZD Samurai?
Eating pasta.
I'm just eating pretzels.
You didn't get the memo then, did you?
No, I got the memo. I just wanted pretzels. We're having chicken fajitas when the show's done. So
it's not pasta either.
No, it's not. Chicken fajitas, as Peter Griffin calls it.
Fajitas.
And why would what was the memo? What was the memo?
That is National Pasta Day.
Happy National Pasta Day, everybody. Happy National Pasta Day.
This is actually really good pasta. Really the big CD.
Did you make it yourself?
No, Carrie did.
Okay. So it's homemade.
Mm-hmm.
The your was kind of the royal your. Like you guys made the pasta.
Yeah. You're having so I got it. You've heard that joke about Mexican food, right? Mexican food is like, no. So what's a taco? So that's a tortilla with meat and cheese. Okay. And a burrito that's a tortilla with meat and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
And
enchilada.
It's a tortilla with meat and cheese.
Okay.
Pretty much most Mexican dishes, almost every Mexican dish that Americans know, or tortilla with meat and cheese.
Fair enough. Tortillas with meat and cheese are good.
Mm-hmm.
I do like you know what I like? I like those like tonight we're gonna have the fajitas.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much a tortilla with meat and cheese.
Yeah. Oh, love that.
Yeah.
That's always a great combination.
And those, what do they call them? The taquitos?
What are the ones with the tortillas, the meat and the cheese?
Oh, those are tortillas with meat and cheese.
Okay, I like those too.
Those are good. Yeah. And to top it all off, like for an appetizer, you see them all around a lot. Those taquitos, the round, hard cooked, like fried tortillas with meat and cheese.
Yes. Yeah, wow. Taquitos are good.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but we joke because I love tortas.
Tortas are good.
Didn't
we have tortas at that place we went to in Morris Plains?
I don't think so. No, we had
after the opening of Diamond Springs, and then we went down to Autodidact, and then we went up to get Mexican food for dinner.
Yeah. No, I don't think we had tortas. You're talking Chico's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I had something else that's also not tortillas, meat and cheese, and those tamales.
We had tamales. That's right. We did have tamales. That's right. So anyway, it is also other than National Pasta Day is also so happy Wear Something Gaudy Day. If you haven't figured out that this isn't the normal garb.
And if you're listening to the show, you don't have to.
You don't have to tune in. You don't have to cover your eyes. If you really want to see. So I tried to go with the most gaudy T-shirt, overshirt, and.
Yeah, I wore a
hat, beer hat I'm wearing. So kudos to the boys from Brick City up in Little Ferry for the hat. But happy Wear Something Gaudy Day. Anyway. So if you haven't guessed, it is just the two of us show. Some reorging had to go on for tonight, so we apologize. But that just means we have some really good shows coming up starting next week. So tonight you just got to deal with the two of us. And most likely it'll be a shorter amount of time than the norm lately. So,
Norm,
he was here before, but he left with Cliff, or left off a cliff, or something like that. I forget.
Okay.
All right. So, what are you drinking first?
Well, I've heard a lot of things about this particular beer. According to my checks,
it's a new beer, right?
Croc. And I love Crocs. Crocs can keep beer colder than glass does.
You're very, very correct on that, sir.
I love that.
This is a new beer, right?
It is a new beer. It's an old beer, but it's a remastered version of an old beer. Right. It is Boston Lager.
The The new remastered Boston Lager.
They've got a tagline on this. What is
I didn't put the tagline or remastered. I could put remastered Boston Lager.
You could if you want, but it's where is it? The best beer in America just got better.
Did it though?
Let's see.
I'm not saying it's not good. I really want to know. I haven't had it yet, actually. I have not had it yet.
Still, you know what? It's still got the classic malt forwardness.
Okay.
You know, it's still a malty lager.
Right.
Not a multi-lager, a multi-lager.
It's not a multi-lager?
It's many lagers blended together.
Many lagers in one. It's a multi-lager.
I think it's a little smoother, but I think the lager yeast is a little more pronounced. So I don't know. I don't know if I like it better or not.
All right. Well, survey's out. I'll have to have one and we'll have to figure it out.
Yeah. We've had I've heard many opinions.
Yeah, I've heard opinions on both sides. Absolutely. Yeah. I've heard it both ways.
Some people saying that they like it better this way. Some people saying that they've ruined the beer. You know, some people compare them to Coca-Cola. Why do you keep messing around with the original?
Right.
Just stop it.
You have a beer that's a classic.
Yeah.
Leave it alone.
Just like a soft drink. If you've got a classic, you know, go back to the original recipe. Put cocaine back in it.
Yeah, really.
Well, maybe not.
Maybe not.
But
just a little pinch.
Yeah.
Anyway,
a spoon of sugar makes the medicine go down.
Exactly. I am having an Inherent Vice from Wild Air Brewing in Asbury Park, New Jersey, right there.
I've got a couple cans of that in the fridge. That's a damn good beer.
It is a good beer. Kudos to Doug and Nick and Bert and the boys.
Yeah,
and girls.
That's a really good beer.
We were just up at Wild Air Beer Works last Wednesday doing the Get On With It Sports Podcast live from Wild Air.
The first time the three of you were all physically in the same place.
The first time the three of us were all physically in the exact same location together at the same time, and the world did not implode. Good signs. Good signs.
Are you sure about that?
Well, I mean, yeah. You know what? Now I think about it.
You might be responsible for some property damage and loss of life. Now we come to think of it.
No, I think that started just before.
Yeah, very possible.
Yeah, it actually started a little before, like a week before. But all right, woo, that was close.
Yeah, not on you.
All right. But no, we were. Yeah, I mean, Pete and I had a radio show 20-something years ago. Harry Lugnutz and I went to high school together. I see him when he's here. He's from Denver. I see him when he's here in Jersey. And when I go out to Denver, I see Pete more often because he's right in Long Island. The two of them have never met each other, and the three of us have never been together. So, and it was our 3rd anniversary show too. So
killed 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yep, and 3 birds, 1 stone because it was our 3rd anniversary show. And we had a live audience.
So that was very nice.
Good.
And
good
and I've met Pete, just not Harry.
You have met Pete. You haven't met Harry.
Mm-hmm. Right. That was out of Montauk Brewing.
Montauk, yeah.
Another live show with a live audience.
That is correct.
That's probably the most guests we ever had on the show.
That is by far the most guests we have ever had on the show. In fact, I venture to say if you took all of our guests that we've ever had on the show and put them all in one room with us, there were still more people there that day than we've had.
Yep. Yeah, it was nice. It was really nice. It was October, wasn't it?
It was October. It was
it's coming up.
It was this weekend last year.
Yep. Yeah, it was. And it was actually kind of hot out.
It was 80-something degrees on a Saturday in October out in Montauk. It was gorgeous. Yep. It was a beautiful day. Out in the boat.
Oh, we're out in the boat.
Out in the Block Island Sound.
Yep.
In Gardner's Bay. It was awesome.
That was a lot of fun.
That was.
Got to contact my friend Jimmy again.
Yeah, we got to get back out with Jimmy.
No, I do all the time, but we got to get together with him, do something.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a little more grappa. Actually, I think you and I and Jimmy had enough grappa for like 3 visits that night.
Yeah, the 3 of us killed a whole bottle of grappa. Yeah, that was a good bottle of grappa. It
was a task. It was a great bottle of grappa.
I found that in Jersey City Buy Right. Not a bad liquor store if you're in the area.
No.
It's not one of those though that you're just. I mean, unless you're going into the Holland Tunnel, yes, you are just passing by. You can jump in real quick and get right back on and get into the Holland Tunnel. But it's, I mean, I think it's my second favorite liquor store in the state.
Your first one being, of course, in Boonton.
Oh yeah, hands down. I've never seen a larger selection of beer in any one place than their beer wall and their chill chests. It's insane.
I do have to tell you, I love that store, and you're absolutely right on that. In Boonton there, but I will say I've never seen a more eclectic collection of vintage bottles. And when I say vintage, I mean unintentionally vintage, but in a good way.
Now you're talking cable beverages.
Cable beverage, yeah. Cable beverage,
and because we do have some places that have
Bardonia, New
York, vintage cans and bottles unintentionally. They just don't bother rotating stock. There.
No, yeah, that's the unintentional one.
That's actually another buy right.
This is true. But be that as it may,
I wonder if they still have a can of Bullnard, the head elf, on the shelf because they did last year.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. I did pick on that note though. I did pick up. It's in my current crate on Tavour.
Oh, I got a crate coming now.
Is it already closed?
It is closed.
All right,
I believe.
Because I picked up. I think it's still available. I think there's still some left. But I picked up and I'm probably going to have it on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. From Hop and Frog, I picked up a can of Froggy Claws.
Froggy Claws, very nice.
Or Froggy Kalos. Should be Claws, but I think it's spelled wrong. They should be CHLAUS. After Froggy, they put it CHALUS.
My crate is closed. It is shipping tomorrow, as a matter of fact.
All right.
And what do I have in this? I've got Bourbon Barrel 4th Dementia Old Ale from Clinton.
Yeah. Barrel
Aged Cordially Yours from Rheingeist.
Very nice.
Time Moves Slow from Unseen Creatures. That's Kolsch.
Nice.
Matryoshka with Mexican vanilla bean and coconut from Fort George.
Mm-hmm.
BBA Night Whale from Rheingeist.
Mm-hmm.
And Billows, a Kolsch from these guys.
Wow, very nice.
Yeah, them doing the Kolsch. It's like,
I believe I actually believe I had that at Burial in May. I believe I had. Yeah, I think I did.
Billows. So I'm looking forward to this because there's a nice variety, Kolsch's and big barrel aged stuff.
I did not get the Rheingeist beer. I wanted it, and it was gone by the time I got back. But
I got 2 Rheingeist in there.
I did throw a bottle of the Frem maple barrel aged smoked porter.
Very nice. I am checking here.
I got a bunch of stuff. So I'm interested. I'm happy about that. But the Froggy Claws is what I want to tell you about. I'll probably have that on the holiday beer show on the 21st. I'll give you 3 guesses what one of the other beers I'll have on that show will be.
Well, I know for a fact one will be Celebration.
Right.
And I wouldn't be surprised if you went out and got a
Celebration.
Oh my God. No, the Belgian one. I've got some left over from last year that I'll be drinking.
Which one?
Bernardus, St. Bernardus.
St. Bernardus?
Yep.
Somebody gifted me a 4-pack of Course and Dunk Christmas bottles.
That's not a bad thing.
Nope.
So
anyway, all right. More on the holiday beer show. That was the first tease. We got another 1, 2, 3, 4 shows prior to getting to the holiday beer show. So.
Yeah, and this week we were going to do it, but it's actually better that we're doing it next week because next week is Cider Appreciation Day.
Yep.
And we are going to do our first ever cider show.
Yeah.
So if you're a fan of the fermented apple juice, tune in, grab your favorite cider, let us know what you think. And we're I think Johnny's mostly staying domestic, and I'm doing a trip around the world.
He is. He's doing a trip around the world on camera. It's gonna be fun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Get your minds out of the gutter, some of you. I know where you were going with that.
We will. We'll throw down some 411 on the cider history.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll actually kick off my trip through the. I don't know what orders I want to do it. I don't know if I want to do it historically as to where they started and how they moved around, or
I think maybe you should do it historically, because normally we do things hysterically.
There
you go.
Not everyone agrees.
Oh, I don't mean the laughing hysterically. I just mean no.
You mean Kermit the Frog going? Ah!
Pretty much, yeah.
That hysterical. Okay.
That hysterical, yeah. So anyway, we got that coming up.
The word that's based off of the Greek word for uterus.
Yes. Correct.
So I wasn't going anywhere with that.
I know. No, I was trying to figure out where I could go with that to make it a little.
There's no way you can go anywhere without getting in trouble.
Can't embellish upon that. No, in a good way. Anyway, so we're gonna have gonna have a show for you on Halloween. It's gonna be a fun show. A couple shows after that, we're actually going to Coastal did a collab. We will announce it. We're going to have the brewery we did the collab with on the show that week. So that's it's 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks from tonight, and then the week after that is the holiday beer show, and Thanksgiving that week too. So a lot coming up. So
we got you mentioned the Halloween show, right?
Yep.
We'll try to drink some scary beers. We'll try to be scary.
I got a couple lined up already. I got to get another one.
We might actually give a shot at being funny.
We'll give it a try. It's
not in our wheelhouse, but
no, we do our best. We do our best.
Drinking beers in our wheelhouse.
This is very true. Are you moving on to beer number 2?
I just did.
All right. What is it? Well, I finished 1 and go to 2 myself.
This one, and I think I spelt it wrong for you. I left the S out, I think. This is Dortzfeld.
All right, I can change that.
Dortzfeld. And
how's that better?
There you go. And Dortzfeld is a Dortmunder style. I think I've drank it on the show before.
That's good.
Ghost hake.
It's not ghost hake.
Hake is a type of fish, and it's actually a yummy type of fish. First time I had hake was when I was in Ireland. It's actually quite delicious. So maybe there's an Irish brewery out there called Ghost Hake. This is ghost fish.
There we go. That's better. It's not Ghost Hake Brewing. It's Ghost Hawk Brewing. There you go. Who says we can't be funny?
I don't know if that was actually funny.
Well, just look at us. I mean, come on. Bless you. That's good. All right.
I think I did this on the. I think I drank one of these on the show because I think I remember discussing the fact that the best Dortmunder in this country for the very longest time was Dortmunder Gold from Great Lakes.
Yes. Dortmunder Gold. I mean, that's kind of the classic American Dortmunder, right?
Right.
If you can call that such a thing, but
yeah, this is better. Gotta say, I like this a lot. I like this.
I haven't had yet. I'll have to stop over there, see Chris for a little bit. I haven't seen Chris in a while, and Steve for that matter. Yeah. But I'll have to stop over there next time I go up to Ruts and get a couple of rippers. When I say a couple, I mean a couple. I'm holding up 4 fingers.
He is holding up 4 fingers. I usually only do 3.
If I'm getting chili and onion rings, I do 3. If I'm eating nothing but the hot dogs, I'll get 4. That's what I do.
No, I used to get 4 all the time, but now I walk over and put them down with beer. So it's.
I generally don't.
I cut back one.
I have a couple of times done that. I've gone over to Ghost Hawk, but I've gotten 1 or 2. Like the trip there was for Ghost Hawk. It wasn't for. The hot dogs were extra.
Well, for me, they're close enough that it's always both.
Gotcha.
What are we're taking a picture over there, and what are we taking a picture of?
We're taking a picture of my second beer. Staying in Monmouth County and staying with lagers. I'm having a Polotomave 13 from Kane.
That's a pretty beer.
It's a pretty can too.
It is a pretty can.
Very nice.
Reminiscent of the old space tape.
Yeah, exactly, right? So there he goes. Yeah, Politamave 13. It's a Czech garnet lager. It's a Czech. Some call it a Czech style Märzen, even.
Okay.
Because it's an amber, garnet, red ale kind of thing. Falls into the Märzen category.
I don't know that it really quite has.
It's not a Märzen. It's some people refer to it as that, like a Czech, like what a Märzen would be if it was brewed in the Czech Republic, right?
Yeah, because it doesn't have the malty bite that
it doesn't have quite the bite, but it is. Yeah. It is very tasty. It's
damn good beer.
Yeah, I mean it's got a little caramel note to it, not as much as would be in a Märzen, right? But yeah, it's really tasty. It's really tasty. Kane still has his release is about a week or so ago. So yeah, if you're anywhere near Kane, I highly recommend stopping by and picking up a 4-pack. It's one of their lagers, so it's one of their lower priced 4-packs. I think it's only $12 or $14 at the brewery for 4-pack. So
not bad at all.
Yeah. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah. So there you go. And while I was there, I picked up a bottle of their anniversary too. One of these years, I'm actually going to open one of them. Because every year I pick up a bottle of their anniversary. I still have bottles of their anniversary. You know anything about Kane? They switched a few years ago. They stopped doing 750s and they started doing 500 mils.
No.
And I think that's a great idea, by the way. Nobody needs 750s anymore. If you get them, you're only getting a bottle share.
Not that high of an ABV, no.
And yeah, that high an ABV. A 500 mil bottle is perfect. But I still have Kane anniversary bottles that were in 750s. So like I could do. I think with the exception of 1 or 2 early years, I could do a vertical of every year Kane made an anniversary year. So
interesting.
One of these years I'm going to have to do it, but. Think of how sloppy that share would be if we do a vertical, unless it's like 12 of us and we all get an ounce,
Yeah, like we did with the, what was that vertical that we did?
Oh, we did, yeah, what the heck was that?
Was it Firestone Walker?
It was Firestone, yeah, it was Firestone Walker, yeah. What the hell was it though? Oh crap, it was the
It wasn't the anniversary.
No.
It wasn't Abacus.
No. Damn it. P.
No, I don't have to pee yet.
No. That comes while I'm doing my top 3 list.
Yes.
That comes. Damn it. Parabola. Thank you. All right. I said P.
You did, and I didn't listen. Thank God, because I didn't get up.
If you did listen and you didn't get up, you'd be sitting in a wet spot right now, but that's besides the point. So anyway, so this Politamave is good.
Looking at the diapers.
Might not be a bad idea for the show. Yeah. I mean, one use, done, throw it away. Once a week, you're good to go.
Yeah. And the only clue would be me going,
excuse me, may I go to the bathroom first? Yes. Thank you. What movie?
I want to say that was Steve Martin.
Yes, it was Steve Martin saying it. Said it to Michael Caine.
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Very good. Great movie. Love that movie. That's one of those movies where if I'm flipping around the channels, it doesn't matter where in the movie it is. If it's on, it stays right there.
And you got to love, because Michael Caine, when you say his name in his accent, it sounds like my cocaine.
Michael Caine. All right. On that note, we're really we're yucking it up tonight.
We're just all over the place.
All over the place. All right, let's wrangle in it a little bit. Last Friday, I had the pleasure of spending most of the day in Brooklyn with Harry Lugnuts.
I've heard of him. Oh, you've heard of Harry Lugnux from such places as the beginning of this show.
Right, there you go. And the sports podcast. Anyway, so he was in. So we went.
Oh yeah, that too.
The main reason, he was singing the song in the beginning of the show. Yeah.
Oh, there's that as well.
There's that too. No, he was in. The main reason for the trip into Brooklyn was to see a couple of bands at a place in Williamsburg, which I'll get to. But we went in, made the tour. Stopped at Strong Rope for a beer, hung out in Red Hook for a bit. Whatchamacallit, walked over by Widow Jane. Did not get anything there. Just took the walk around Red Hook a little bit. I wanted to go in, but we were both a little apprehensive about going in and having a few bourbons at Widow Jane at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then having to still go the rest of the night because we got home at 3 a.m. So it was probably a good idea we didn't do that. So
right.
But I want to talk about a few of these. I'm just going to list them all, and then we'll go back to them. But then we went over to Williamsburg, and we went to over by Jesse, and we went to Interboro.
Jesse Ferguson of
Interboro, who's been on the show, right? A good friend. He unfortunately was actually judging a beer homebrew contest or it was a hops use of hops, something to do with hops or whatever, in upstate New York.
Right.
He was out there and he got stuck in a ton of traffic on the Deegan so late. He didn't even get back to, we were already at the show. He was going to come back. He was going to go back to the brewery and we were going to meet him back there after the show. But he was so shot. He just went home. So we never hooked up, but we actually were at Interboro 3 times. So
nice.
So we went to Interboro, had a beer, then we went over
not
to
a bad
Grimm.
Place to be.
Not at all. Went over to Grimm.
Grimm's not a bad place to be either.
I had a beer and some food. I'll get to that. And let's start there. All right. Grimm. When was the last time you were at Grimm?
I think I was there with you.
So a year and change ago.
That's a while
ago. A year and a half ago, really. Like March of.
Got to get back out there.
Remember they had pop-up pizzas downstairs. Occasionally they had the oven.
They didn't that day, but
no, they didn't have them every day, but they had it. It was there, right?
Right.
Well, they have a new roof deck.
Cool.
Very cool.
Just in time for winter.
Very, very cool space. There's it's indoors and outdoors. And,
okay, cool.
Overhead doors open up, and it's all the way out over the roof. Obviously, they can utilize the space in the winter as well.
That's nice.
But really, really beautiful. I mean, it's essentially the third floor. So it's not like you have these gorgeous city views, but you are looking above some of the buildings, so you do have a nice view. It's very comfortable. It's very pretty. It's very nice up there. It's cool.
So you're looking above all of the big, massive garage doors that dominate that area.
Yeah, there weren't a few in that direction. There's only a couple brownstones and some other stuff. It's not a lot, so it's kind of cool. But they put the pizza oven up there. They have food all the time now, so they have food at Grimm all the time. Pizzas. I actually had a hot honey pepperoni pizza, but the honey wasn't hot. The serrano peppers on the pizza were hot. So it was a hot honey pepperoni pizza. Right. So it was a hot honey pepperoni pizza. That's what you want to call it. So
okay.
All right. So it was very good. It was very good. Very tasty. Had a couple of good beers there. Then we went back over to Interboro. Had another couple of beers. Of course, had the Bushberg. You have to have the Bushberg.
Must have the Bushberg.
And it's Bushberg. Why is it Bushberg? Because Interboro is on the border, basically, of Bushwick and Williamsburg. Mm-hmm. Bushberg. They could call it Williamswick.
I kind of like that too.
Williamswick.
What's interesting is both are alliterative.
Right. Bushberg, Williamswick.
Interesting.
They're very alliterative.
Actually, the only thing I saw cooler than that was in the World Cup when Sweden played Denmark.
Okay.
The abbreviation for Sweden is SWE, SWE, and then the abbreviation for Denmark is DEN.
Right.
Right. So when you took Sweden versus Denmark and you took the first 3 letters,
yep,
it's spelled Sweden.
Sweden, yeah.
But then you took the leftover letters after that and reversed them. It spelled Denmark.
Denmark, yeah. Sweden, Denmark.
Yeah.
Denmark. Sweden and Denmark. The first three are Sweden, and the rest of the letters on both are Denmark.
Yes. I thought that was very cool. But
it's very cool, yeah.
But this whole alliteration.
So Sweden and Denmark mixed are still Sweden and Denmark.
Yeah. No matter how you toss them up. And Finland's just sitting there going, "Hey, we like to play." But
all right, there could be Finway and Norland.
Finway, Norland.
Finway and Norland. You can do it that way.
Or Finnmark and Denland.
That would.
I don't know.
There you go. Anyway.
But then again, every other country wants to get in, and then things like Kazakhstan is like, what are you going to do with that?
Yeah, you might do that. Yeah. Anyway, Edward Meyer just wrote in, honey pepper is awesome on pizza. Yes, it absolutely is.
Oh, Eddie Meyer. So Eddie Meyer went out fishing this past week, and you should see some of the monsters he caught. He had himself some fun out there.
So he went Halloween fishing?
Yes. He pulled in a wolfman and Nosferatu. Nosferatu. The thing is, since it's an endangered species, that he had to practice catch and release.
Anyway, I'm just thinking about. I'll tell you later. A different show. Anyway.
Okay.
But no, honestly, hot honey pepperoni or hot honey pizza. I love it. I love hot honey, right? I love heat and I love honey. But they put the serrano peppers, sliced up serrano peppers all over the pizza with the sauce and the cheese, and then they covered it in pepperoni and drizzled just regular honey on it. It was fantastic. It was good.
Yeah.
I really, really enjoyed it. First time I ever had that combination. So it's like a hot honey pizza with the peppers on it. So it's nice. I liked it.
So the thing, what I love on pizza, and Brian Altschul introduced me to this stuff. He's introduced a lot of us to this stuff.
And he laughed.
Is the flat iron pepper flakes.
Yes.
The smoky version, amazing. We did buy the I can't feel my face version. I haven't used it yet.
Uh-huh.
And
didn't Robert Klein write that? Make that one? I can't feel my face.
Was that from?
No, I can't stop my leg. That's what it is. I can't stop.
Oh,
is it too big of a throwback? Am I throwing way too many people off here?
Maybe.
Am I going too far back?
Kevin Klein. That's not.
Well, you are older than me technically. So
I am, but I'm just trying to think.
Robert Klein. I can't stop my leg with the Robert Klein. Richard Klein was Larry on Three's Company.
Yes.
Robert Klein, no relation, was the comedian with the harmonica. When he's, no, don't get that. No.
Was he ever on a show?
Was he ever on what?
On a show?
He's been in movies.
He was never in the Gong Show.
Oh, he was on a Gong Show. I thought you said, was he ever on a show?
No, Gong Show. The Gong
Show. No. That was Gene the Dancing Machine. You're thinking that.
We know him. Oh no, that's a different Gene.
That's a different Gene. And
that's Gene, the drinking machine.
He's the drinking machine, right? Exactly. So, anyway, yeah. So you were saying, continue. Sorry. Hot pep. I can't feel my face. The flat iron.
Yeah, I didn't mean this to be a advertisement for flat iron pepper flakes, but. And the smoky one, and there's a much hotter smoky one, and then there's just the blow your face off ones. They've got one that's got more green chilies in it, so with jalapenos and poblanos, I think. And then there's another one that's just habanero heat, and it's just a slightly amped up version of normal red pepper flakes. But I love that stuff on pizza.
For sure.
But hot honey, hot honey works nicely too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. This pizza was fantastic. We'll have to, you'll have to have this. We'll have to pick a day. We'll have to go over it. And there's a reason that I'm getting to. I'm building up to this. There's a reason you got to get back over there. Okay. So anyway, I want to talk about, this isn't beer related, but we'll talk about the show for a second. So we go over to the Meadows, or the Meadow. It's on Meadow Ave, Meadow Street. It's like 3 blocks away from Interboro is on Grand Street. Right, so it's like about 3 blocks east southeast, east, whatever direction that would be. I guess it's kind of southeast or east southeast.
It's actually, believe it or not, due south.
Due south of Innerborough?
Yeah, because you actually have to walk southeast to get onto Waterbury, and then you go pretty much a little bit northwest on Meadow to get to the Meadows.
There you go.
So it's actually almost due south of Innerborough.
Interesting. All right.
It's just you can't walk through the buildings.
No, you got to go around the block. Yeah. So anyway, so we went over there. We saw a couple bands. There was a third band we didn't see. They opened up, but we saw the Suffragettes.
Suffragettes. I like
the
that.
Suffragettes.
Not suffragettes.
Suffragettes. Four women,
as one would expect.
All right, and they were playing all surf songs.
Okay, so he has some Beach Boys, some Flo and Eddie.
No. All like not that. It was a lot of them were actually. I'm fairly certain, and I please don't quote me because I really didn't do my research on this because we were mainly this was his thing. I tagged along. I love music, so.
Okay.
I went. I'm fairly certain that a lot of the songs they did were originals, but they were in vein of like just surf music, not Beach Boys, just surf music. Like I don't want to say Wipeout because that's just more or less like Mr. Lou. You know that song?
Right. Nope.
All right, that just surf music.
Right.
Music you'd think of hearing while you're watching people surfing, that kind of thing. No singing, all instrumental. There's no vocals. But they did do a couple of songs. They did do a couple of covers that typically weren't surf music, but they made them surf music and no vocals. They did "Heart of Glass" from Blondie as surf music. It was really, really good.
That's pretty cool.
It was really cool. So anyway, them and Electric Six is the name of the band.
I think I've heard of them.
All right. Now they're really, really good. Rock, contemporary rock. But the only band that I can compare them to for you would be Log. Okay. Would
explain why Harry likes them.
Exactly. Right. So the musicianship, amazing. Lyrics, I'll give you a lyric line. Okay. And again, in vein of Log, right? You hear the lyrics, obviously our theme, right? Our song. When cowboys divorce, who gets the horse? All right.
Okay.
That's one of them.
I gotta say one thing. I just pulled them up. They're a little better looking than Log.
A little bit. And I think Harry would agree. So
they're from Detroit.
Yeah. And the Suffragettes are from Toronto. And what's funny is at one point, and I don't know if it was on purpose, if he said it ironically, or if it was just a screw up. But the lead singer of Electric Six says, we want to thank the Suffragettes for playing with us tonight, all the way from Toronto, Canada, USA.
Huh? Well, a lot of people say Toronto is more of a U.S. city than it is a Canadian city.
Right.
But yeah, very, very cool. Very cool. They're listed as pretty much a garage band, I guess. So that's a good description of that sound.
Yeah, I mean, you could look at it that way. Yeah, sure. But they were really good. They're really good. So we got out of there. No. If you're gonna go to the Meadows, great venue, awesome. Small, intimate, obviously, right? Standing room only. There's no seating or anything like that. It's a bar. Right. It's a glorified bar. It's a Williamsburg bar that you're gonna see a band.
Oh, in, interesting. That kind of thing. So, okay, so not like White Eagle Hall. It's more of a bar with a stage.
Pretty much, but a little bit bigger than your typical bar with a stage.
Right. Okay, gotcha.
But not really expansive, just a little bigger. But it's a really cool setting. It's really cool. But don't expect to get any craft beer there.
Well, it's rare that you will in places like
you're not going to get any. I mean, you're not even going to get Yingling there. You're going to get the craftiest thing you're going to get there is Miller Lite or Stella. Okay, the craftiest thing you're going to get there is Stella. All right, so I had a gin and tonic, of course. Two actually, I think.
Oh! Interesting that you bring that up. You know what Thursday is?
Thursday is National Gin Day.
It's International Gin and Tonic Day.
International Gin and Tonic Day. I'm sorry. Yes, I meant that actually.
So, no, you didn't.
No, I meant gin and tonic. I didn't mean international. I meant national.
But yeah, so just remember to drink your international gin and tonic, and also dress like a dork.
Well, I do that every day. So.
It's interesting because we've got wear something gaudy day today, and 2 days later is dress like
gaudy. There you go. So I can basically wear this on Thursday, and I'm kind of fit the bill.
Yeah. And tomorrow we'll get into this later, but it's October Revolution Day, and I'll tell you what that is after.
Yeah, let's talk about that afterwards.
Your journey here.
My journey here. Well, I'm getting somewhere that's really important for this show specifically. Okay, so
specifically.
Specifically, right.
Specifically.
Right. So anyway, so we leave the show. We're done. We go back over to Interboro for another beer because they're open until 11.
God, I love this beer.
Mm-hmm. The Dortmunder. Yes, you do. I remember you telling me that. So anyway, and then we found out, and I was texting with Jesse. Obviously, he just went home. He's like, I'm sorry, John, I'm shot. See you whenever, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So we weren't done yet. So I look at Harry. And I'm like, I'm going to take you somewhere you haven't been. And only because I want you to see the venue, I'm kind of upset with it. And of course, we all know that is.
Yes. John went to Spuyten
Duyvil. So I went to Spuyten Duyvil. Now, let me refresh everybody.
He sends me a picture.
Refresh everybody with the pictures of Spuyten Duyvil in here. Okay. Now, this is an original picture of Spuyten Duyvil. Look at all the glassware, all the boards with all the beers. I'm showing you this for a reason. Pay attention. Anybody listening to Audio Podcast, you're going to want to tune in around 41 minutes on the video if you care.
41 and a half. Yeah,
41 and a half. So there's the taps, all the glassware, all the boards with all the bottles that they have, the huge amount of bottles that they have in the cellar. And now this is what it looks like. Now it's all Amaro. Okay, all Amaro.
And John sent me pictures similar to this.
Now,
and said, "Guess where I am?" And I went, "You're at that bar that will show forever from now on be nameless."
Right, exactly. So, sitting there now. Of course, they have the taps. Now, and Dave and I discovered this a year and a half ago when we were there.
And we were taking people there for the first time, telling them how great this place was, and we had to apologize.
We had to apologize, right? Because it turned into a Amaro bar. Now they still do have beer there. All right, they have their draft and they have some bottles, but their list is not better than some of the better craft beer bars in and around the city. Now that's a lot to be said because there are good craft beer bars. So their list isn't bad by any means. However,
it's not what they were.
Not even close to what they were. Okay. So we walk in and, there was a draft on there. I think I had a KCBC beer. Harry had a Killsborough beer. So, I mean, we had some local stuff in Brooklyn, so that was fine. And we're sitting there and she hands me a bottle list and it's a small one, right? And I'm looking and I'm like, that's different. We didn't get a bottle list when we were here last time.
No, we didn't.
So it was very small. It was probably about 12 bottles on it, right? All 750s. I mean, one of them was a sour that was not, they were charging $90 for. So that wasn't happening, right? So anyway.
You sure it wasn't an Imperial Seltzer?
No, it was a sour. It was good. I didn't take a picture of it. I don't remember what it was. It was a good sour. And by any means, it wasn't a Cantillon by any means or anything like that. But it was
what is.
Right.
Other than
Cantillon, right. But anyway, it sparked me to say, you got to have a conversation with her, right? And I told her, and I started a conversation up, and I asked her, about what, is anybody here as upset as I and many of my friends are that this place is now this as opposed to what it was. And I said, let me preface by saying I actually like Amaro very much, but this was my go-to favorite craft beer bar pretty much in the world. Okay. And
I can attest to that. And
you did this to it. She said, let me just set you straight. Cause I know she said last year when, a year and a half ago, when this was first happening, a lot of people that did work here left because they were pissed. And the people that they got in really didn't know. Okay. They still maintain the bottles in the cellar. They still do have the taps. And I thought about it too. And I looked at the tap list Now, what they had on tap when we were there was a little bit more. When I say pedestrian, it's a little bit more pedestrian. But when I say pedestrian, I don't mean like they had, run of the mill craft, beers that are readily accessible everywhere. I didn't mean that. Just a little bit more run of the mill, right? So I'll take the word pedestrian out. Run a little bit more run of the mill. But the ones they had on tap when we were there on last Friday,
we're used to seeing one-offs.
Right. I had Duduchiel Pesce Mortel on tap at Spite and Dival. Where else in the world do you get it on tap except for at the brewery in Montreal? Right?
Other
craft beer bars in Montreal, right. You get bottles in liquor stores, is what you get, right?
Wow.
Here. So, anyway, so they had that, but she told me,
isn't that pretty?
That is very pretty. Very pretty. I'll put that up in a minute. Just to finish up.
Oh yeah.
This one thought. All right, she did say they maintain the bottles in the basement. They maintain the bottles in the cellar, so they don't necessarily have them on a list. But anything that we could think of, tell them any of them will go down in the basement and find not only if they have that, but if they don't, what else in that vein they have, and bring them up and show you.
But if they've lost so many people, do they have people that know what's
I suppose there are a few people there now that do know, is my point. That's what she was alluding to. Now, I know who she is. I will go in there if she's there. I will talk to her clearly, but apparently everybody's been schooled. So now, while
that's a hard thing to school somebody in.
So basically, if this is true, and I'm not even guaranteeing you it is, because I have to go back and do my due diligence, right, and actually put them through the paces. Ask
for a Cantillon.
As for a Cantillon, she told me that they had several bottles of one particular Cantillon. She sold the last one about 15 minutes before we walked in there, is what she told me.
Okay.
Whatchamacallit? They go in there, and I always wind up getting like a J.W. Lee's barley wine, the Harvest Ale.
Yeah, okay.
It's just something I did all the time. Like, but it wasn't like that years. It was like 20 years old, right, when I got it, right?
That's some class.
Apparently, they still have it, right? So I got to go back and I got to do my due diligence. I got to see if there's, what's down there and everything else. But my point is, from what she was saying, it's not a different bar. It's just that behind the counter, they don't have the glassware and the boards anymore. They have all Amaro up, and they do have Amaro now.
But that makes it
Amaro
a different bar.
It makes it right. So basically, it's according to her, and again, no guarantees until Dave and I go back over and we'll both do our due diligence, okay? But we'll report back on that. But tentatively, what we're saying is Spite and Dival is the same Spite and Dival with Amaro and liqueurs.
But there's just no list, which is ridiculous.
Without a list, exactly.
Yeah, I plan on going back. When we go back, I plan to see what Ardwolf they have in their basement.
Fair enough.
Because I love Ardwolf.
Right? Thomas Hardy.
There you go.
Yeah, right.
But the thing is, and I know they've had Ardwolf in the past, and there's been a few others in there. I remember we did my birthday tour years ago, the 50-year-old one. They had some pretty good stuff on tap. And the funny thing is, I wasn't allowed to pay for a beer there because it was my birthday.
You were not.
And I'm sitting there looking at the list, and no one's ordering the right thing. And finally,
you didn't tell anybody.
No, I did. Well, because people said, no, I'm going to order the beer. Okay, fine. So finally,
you could have leaned in my ear and said, "Hey, how about this one?" You could have done that.
And I go to the end of the bar, slip my credit card to the bartender, said, "Just put that bottle down in front of everybody." They put the bottle down in front of everybody. They start pouring it, and everyone's like, "Oh man, this is the best one yet." They're drinking them, and like, who the hell ordered this? And they just finally, after going around everybody, they realized, Dave, you're not supposed to order your own beer.
You're really, what the hell were you doing?
You were ordering the wrong one.
That was an awesome day. I really got to say, that was one hell of a day. What did we do? We started at Single Cut.
We started at Single Cut, not their new space, the old space.
Right. Went to.
Actually, we started in. Well, no, because you came later. Those who took the train, and we started in an Irish bar.
Oh yeah, you guys went to the Irish pub first.
That was open at like 8 a.m. serving beer, and it was just full of union guys and us.
But I mean, we got in at noon at Single Cut when you first got there. So how much earlier did you get there? And
we were 3 Guinnesses in by the time.
What bar was it? I got to ask you. Was it Gilby's?
Let's see.
That's one of my favorite Irish bars in Astoria. Is Gilby's. It's on the corner of 31st and Broadway.
Trying to figure out where Single Cut was, because we walked to Single Cut from it.
How long was the walk to Single Cut? And I'll tell you whether it was Gilby's or not.
It was only about 4 blocks.
No, then it wasn't Gilby's. Right. Gilby's would have been about an 8 or 9 block walk.
Okay, yeah, because Gilby's is a block off of the Q of the subway line.
Yeah,
and the end of the W.
The Q is gone. It's the end of the W now.
It's the end of the W.
Yeah.
It was on the road that follows. So
okay.
where was
I'm interested.
Single Cut.
Single Cut's all the way up. Single Cut's all the way up by.
It's in Ditmars.
It's Ditmars. Yeah, it's all the way up. It's like 10 blocks north of where of Gilby's is.
Yeah, no, it's. Let's see. I'll probably find it, but at any rate.
At any rate, or at every rate. So,
no, not all of them.
All right, pause on that note for a minute. What is your third beer?
Oh,
that beautiful thing you poured before.
It's called Gratitude Practice. Right, you can see that.
Mm-hmm.
This is a robust porter. This is Eredita.
Eredita, yeah.
They're out of North Haven, Connecticut, which I assume is just north of New Haven, Connecticut.
North Haven is just north of New Haven. Very good.
Yeah, I think I nailed that one.
I don't think you did.
But yeah, no, it's this beer. This is a serious. It is so malty, so roasty. I would not sit on this for too long, because you can tell it will go to licorice real quick.
Gotcha.
That's how malty and roasty this thing is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so that there's a lesson right there. If you've got a super malty beer and there's nothing in it that's going to help it maintain, it's going to go licorice on you.
Just want to show you how pretty that is. Not the mechanical glass, the actual beer in it.
That's a pretty beer.
All right.
I like dark stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna have to get a candidate. Where'd you actually get this?
Jersey City by right.
It's a by right. Can or 4-pack?
4-pack.
4-pack. Okay.
I found the bar that we were at. It's called O'Hanlon's.
Oh, Hanlon's. Yes, I know where it is. I've seen it.
That is.
Haven't been. I know where it is. Haven't been. I know.
That is a dive bar and a half.
Yep.
Use the restroom at your own risk.
You gotta go. You gotta go.
Oh well, the thing is, one of the members of our party. It was probably fine until one member of our party used it.
I can guess who that was, but I'll leave it alone.
Probably not who you thought.
No,
it was not Meathead.
All right.
No, actually, maybe it was. Maybe it was Meathead that blew that one up.
So anyway, my second beer, or third beer actually, is We've Gone to Plaid.
Now that is just a phenomenal reference. I love that reference.
Mm-hmm.
That is Spaceballs.
As is most of alternate endings,
because they're all movie references.
They're all movie references. We've Gone to Plaid. I love that. And look at the label. Yeah.
That is Plaid.
There's Plaid on the label, right?
So that is basically the same label as the second beer you drank, just made Plaid.
Just made Plaid, yeah, pretty much. Pretty much, if you look at it, yeah.
It's the same color combination.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, it just made it Plaid.
So, but in any event, it is a rye Schwartz beer.
Now that's an intriguing. I've never come across a rye Schwartz beer.
Mm-hmm. You will.
Yeah, they have to get the alternatings to break that cherry. So love Schwarzbiers, love rye.
Mm-hmm. It's different. It's not as different as you would think it would be, but there's a couple of different levels to it, and I really like it. It's really well done. I like it a lot.
The one I'm drinking, I think when I checked and I said, is a roasty punch to the throat.
Lovely.
In a very good way.
Lovely. A roasty punch to the throat. All right, I can see that. All right. Cool. Yeah, but this is very good. And there's some stuff going on at Alternate Endings, which we'll get to. I will get to with you, and we'll get to with you out there soon enough. Soon enough. But in any event, yeah. So basically, my 3 beers today were lagers from Monmouth County. Okay.
Very nice.
Asbury Park, Wild Air in Asbury Park, Kane in Ocean, and Alt Endings in Aberdeen. And my glassware was all Monmouth County as well.
Yeah, it was pretty much all Coastal Brew Works.
Coastal Brew Works. No,
Mechanicals.
Not Monmouth County.
Jersey.
I meant New Jersey.
Yeah.
Coastal Brew Works and Mechanical. Yeah. So.
Mine were what. I did some New England stuff here because I went Jack's Abbey. This is probably one of my favorite things to drink out of. This is Schilling.
Very nice.
New Hampshire. But then I went down to Asheville with Burial.
There you go.
Well, I got to drink out of like these glasses because we've got, it's October. Halloween's coming up.
Mm. I do have a coffee cup on my desk too, which I was drinking coffee out of this morning.
Please don't show that because you're going to get me upset. Because I broke mine.
I'm sorry, but I had it this morning while I was drinking coffee. I was doing some work on my desk. But you said you went down to Asheville, so technically
that may not be the same thing then.
So technically, so did I. All right, it's my White Labs.
There you go.
That's not the same. White Labs is in Asheville, so I do have an Asheville glass as well. So there you go.
You know that looked like the first carton regular coffee mug.
Oh yes. I did have that. I don't have that anymore. I'll give you 3 guesses why, but we'll leave that alone.
Did it melt?
I think so.
Mine, I hit against the edge of the sink while washing it.
There you go. I would have rather done that.
It was heartbreaking.
There you go.
Because I did that in Rhode Island. It came up to Rhode Island with me, and it died in Rhode Island, and I was very, very upset by that.
Very upset.
Because I really liked that. It had a good weight to that one.
It was a good weight to it. Had a good weight to it. Anyway, cool. All right, so moral of the story, you and I need to get back to Brooklyn at some point soon.
Well, no, definitely need to get back to Brooklyn. There's a lot I need to do back. I need to get back to Grimm. I haven't been in a while. I haven't seen Jesse in a long time. 18th Ward is back open.
Yep. Yes, they are.
I would love to. I got to check out Brooklyn Steel's. What they've got coming up, what bands they've got going, because Brooklyn Steel's right around the corner from 18th Ward. And you can start off in KCBC. They're just blocks away from Brooklyn Steel.
Yep. And which is blocks away from Interborough.
Yes, and Grimm. And actually, Grimm is between Brooklyn Steel and Interborough.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. So everything's right there. And the Meadows is right there, too. And on that note, what's funny is those 2 bands, the Surfer Jets and Electric Six that we saw the other night. Guess where they're playing tomorrow night?
Brooklyn Steel?
No.
Tomorrow night, where are they playing?
Together, they're playing tomorrow night.
Not White Eagle.
Nope.
No, where are they playing, John?
Bond Street in Asbury Park.
Are they shutting the road down? There's no room in Bond Street to put a band.
That's where they say they're playing. I'm considering going.
You'd have to.
It might be in one of the other venues that's behind, like
or under
to Bond Street,
or underneath,
or underneath. Yeah.
Or underneath,
or out in front.
Yeah, because sometimes they'll shut that road down.
Exactly.
Speaking of Asbury Park, we do want to extend our deepest condolences to the Fest Hall. The Fest Hall in the couple weeks ago, the New York metro area was hit with some really heavy downpours that did a lot of damage. But the one thing that was really seriously damaged, that's germane to this podcast, is the Asbury Fest Hall. And you can see videos of when the water finally broke through and just decimated the building. They are closed indefinitely at this point. They've got a lot of work to do. And here's hoping that that the insurance came through, that they are going to get that place fixed back up, because I don't know, that was always one of my favorite places to eat and drink in Asbury Park.
Fair enough.
And here's hoping they come back.
Yeah, I agree. And they will. They've been there. They're too much of a fixture.
Yep.
And they're too big of a space and too important to the area to not. All right. And I'm sure, that, there's for that big of a business, I'm sure there's no issues. Well, and I don't know. We'll find out, obviously. We'll see. Well, they should.
We'll see.
So, but anyway.
Okay, now that you're done with that, right. I was talking about October Revolution.
Yes, October Revolution, which will lead me to something else, and then we'll go into the top threes. But go ahead, October Revolution.
So tomorrow's October Revolution Day. October Revolution was born out of the fact that out of someone telling me that they loved pumpkin, and I looked and said, "You don't love pumpkin, you love pumpkin spice."
It wasn't me.
It wasn't Johnny.
It was not,
and it wasn't Jess either. That matter.
Or John Starodumsky for that matter.
Yes. So what I did is I made a pumpkin spice infused vodka.
Very nice.
And gave it to this individual, and they were like, "See, this is fantastic. I told you I love pumpkin." Like, funny. There's absolutely no pumpkin.
No pumpkin in it.
How would you know that? Because I made it. But then I had all this pumpkin spice infused vodka. They're like, "We're gonna do this shit." So I was going through all the different things I could do with it, and I came up with a solution of something that I could possibly stomach. Because if you watched last week, I'm not a big fan of pumpkin spice.
Even though you had 4 pumpkin beers.
Yes. Ginger spice, yes. Pumpkin spice, not so much. So I invented a drink. What I did is I took one of my favorite mixed drinks, and I don't drink a lot of mixed drinks, even though I've invented a few. And then it's the White Russian. And I replaced the vodka with pumpkin spice vodka. So you got pumpkin spice vodka, Kahlua, and half and half. Mm-hmm. And what I did is I invited someone over who hates pumpkin spice as much as me, if maybe not even more so, and that would have been Meathead. And so that I wanted his bias on it. So I told him what I was giving him. Mm-hmm. And he's like, "You're going to make me drink this?" I said, "Yeah, I'm going to make you drink this." And he took a sip of it. His reaction was, "I hate that I don't hate this." He goes, "This is actually," and he finishes his glass, goes, "You're going to make me another, right?"
Well, I'm going to stop you there. I'm going to tell you why it was good. Okay. What's one of your favorite pumpkin meals?
One of. Well, my favorite's Warlock.
Warlock. Okay. That's where I'm going. Warlock. Okay.
Because you got the coffee flavor of the stout.
Right. And you also like Elysian Punkachino. Pumpkin stout. Okay.
Yep.
Coffee, specifically a pumpkin coffee stout.
Yeah.
All right. For Punkachino. So a White Russian, you got the half and half is giving, yes, it's giving more creamy, but it's giving a mouthfeel as a stout. So it's not a watery drink. You got the pumpkin spice from the vodka, and you got the coffee from the Kahlua. That's why you like this drink that you made.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, and then I told him I called it October Revolution because, it's a White Russian, mm-hmm. but it's meant for fall. Mm-hmm. And, and if you know your history, the Bolshevik Revolution was known as the October Revolution as well. So hence the name of the drink. So
there you go.
Tomorrow is the day that I honor that. And I think I got some pumpkin spice vodka left over from last year. If not, it's too late to make some.
Yeah.
And I'm not going out and buying any.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say you have some pumpkin spice vodka left over.
Very possible.
Just guessing.
I think there's some over there. And so I'll make myself a couple tomorrow. But yeah, that's one of the I can say at this point 3 cocktails I've invented.
Fair enough. And make sure you have your pumpkin spice October Revolution old fashions, White Russians tomorrow. But make sure you have your gin and tonics on Thursday.
I'm not sure I have any gin, John.
I always gotta have gin. Yeah, I mean, at any given time, there's a couple of bottles of gin in my house.
Well, yeah, because you're a gin whore.
That's true. Even in the winter, when I drink very little gin, there's still always a bottle or 2 of gin in my house.
I'm looking over at the bar. I don't see a bottle of gin over there. I need to go out and get some Monkey 47.
There you go.
But making gin and tonic with Monkey 47 is kind of a waste of Monkey 47.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. Just go get a bottle of Beefeater, or I mean, you get Gordon's. Actually, Gordon's is less expensive, very good London dry gin.
Yes, it is. When you're getting into that level of gin, Tanqueray tends to be more where I like to go.
Tanqueray is more expensive. I mean, you can get.
I'm not going Sapphire because Sapphire is a waste of gin and tonic.
Absolutely, yeah. But I mean, you can get Gordon's for less than that. And you know what's a really good gin for the price, if you find it, if you're in like Wegmans or something like that, any of those, New Amsterdam gin.
Really?
Very, very, very good gin for the price, and you'll save money. You'll definitely save. I'm a Tanqueray guy. Occasionally Bombay, Sapphire, and of course, forget about any of the Hendricks. Any of the summer solstice gins and all of that. I'll drink those, but I'm not putting them in the gin and tonic. Making something better with those. But you're not going to
put any of the botanicals.
If I'm just making straight gin and tonics at home, it's honestly at this point in time, it's either Gordon's or it's New Amsterdam.
Just remember, trust the Gordon's fisherman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
absolutely,
no, something else.
It's totally different, but you get the idea. All right. So there's a lot of fall stuff going on. All right.
Yes.
Lots of fall stuff going on.
Well, we've
you know why, right? Because
we've had a nice drop in temperature.
We have rain every Saturday here. Okay. Apparently that's the newest thing. In the fall, we have rain every Saturday. Not necessarily Friday, not necessarily Sunday. Every Saturday we have rain. And this Saturday, 7th Saturday in a row, it's going to rain. 7th fucking Saturday in a row, it's going to rain here.
But you know what? My plans are actually indoors this Saturday. We're going to go see. We're going to go see Brad Williams.
Yeah.
He's doing a benefit show up at the Mount Olive High School.
Fair enough. Go to Mount Olive. You going to stop in and see Chuck up at Jersey Girl afterwards?
I would like to actually maybe pregame it.
There you go. Fair enough.
Maybe stop in and see Chuck. Maybe see Joe. Maybe see Matt.
See them all. Why not? Go for it.
Yeah.
But
as long as we're in the area.
Exactly. But it is fall. So we figured just for this, for our top 3s tonight, we would do top 3 favorite things about fall. Top 3 favorite things about fall. And that can be anything.
What's interesting is I came up with the top 3 and I never gave it any thought after that.
It's pretty funny.
All right. This is going to be extremely off the cuff.
Extremely off the cuff. Well,
very ad hoc.
It's not like we haven't done that before.
No. I mean, I don't want to go into the absolute obvious.
Mm-hmm. I may.
Because the obvious is the cooler temperatures, the lower humidity.
Mm-hmm.
But what that ties into is when fall arrives. For me, that becomes that's hiking. That's the beginning of hiking season for me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's usually when I strap on the boots, put on the backpack, hit the trail.
The strap on.
The strap on the.
Oh, okay. scared a minute. Just making sure.
Hey, the thing is, it depends upon the size and color of the strap-on, but you can use it to scare away bears.
This is true. Right.
Depends upon depends upon what kind of bear.
Yeah, some of them won't be scared.
just say it. You may need to throw the things in the woods so you can escape. At any rate, before we get into too much trouble.
No, you want to do that.
But getting out onto the trail, and also when I hike, I geocache. So this is really more when I get more active outdoors. Mm-hmm. So I think that's we'll put that up there as more outdoor activity because the weather is nicer, but definitely getting out into the woods.
Okay, that's your number 3.
I don't think there's an order here. This is just as the shit's come into my head.
Stand back, people.
Since it is a beer podcast, we'll you got to throw one thing in there. This is when John has mentioned before, beer season has begun. This is when you start getting your darker beers come out. I've got a robust porter in my hand. Mm-hmm. Your darker beers, some of your heavier beers that have a nice fuller mouthfeel, things that are going to, it's like it's a little late at night. Let me grab one of these beers and it's going to help you sleep a little bit. You get to these types of beers. These are the beers that I really, really enjoy. Your darker beers. So it's where the how the breweries, what the breweries start to do when fall hits. Right, you're not seeing the jalapeno blondes. You're not seeing margarita sours. Not that I don't like any of those. But that's really not where my flavor palette lies. So that's a big thing for me come fall is the beer selection for me becomes a little broader as far as what I really appreciate.
Very nice.
Let's see what else. That's tough. I came up with this one, and I can't even think of a third one for this.
I was going to say.
Actually, no, I do have a third one.
There you go.
Okay, so we're talking about activity, talking about drinking, eating. We are getting into chilly weather. We are getting into goulash. We're getting into paprikash. We're getting into some of the hearty stuff, the rib-sticking stuff. This is the stuff you don't want to eat in the summer, even as delicious as it is. This is my cooking changes once fall hits. And I prefer a lot of that kind of food. I am Eastern European mostly by DNA, so I guess that would explain it. But we'll go with that. And I'll throw a bonus in there. Hockey.
Okay.
I know John's a huge football fan. I'm a bigger hockey fan. I'm a college football fan. I'll give you that. But that technically starts in summer, really, right towards the end of summer. Mm-hmm. Hockey, that starts in fall.
Fair. So does basketball. If you're playing along at home, so does basketball.
Yeah. Not a big basketball fan, but hockey. Now it's going. Rangers beat the Coyotes last night 2-1.
They did. Didn't they have a fight like before the game and after the game?
I didn't get to see the game. It's on MSG, and none of the services I have carry MSG.
2-0. Just saying. 2-0.
What's 2-0?
Rangers.
They're 2-1. They lost to the Senators on Saturday night. Actually,
that's right. They did play Saturday. I'm not bad. You're right.
Destroyed by the Senators. I was sitting in 902 Brewing with James Harris.
You're right. I forgot about that game.
It was a great night at 902.
You know why? Because Islanders opened up, or Devils. No, Islanders opened up on Saturday night. They did.
I think so.
So I wasn't thinking for some reason, and as a Rangers fan, I do apologize. I wasn't paying attention to anything on Saturday. I was doing a bunch of stuff. We actually had a lazy day home. I got a lot of work done, and we watched like 3 movies. I didn't watch anything.
Wait. had a lazy day home, but you got a lot of work.
Lazy day home, meaning I didn't go out. So I got a lot of work done.
Well, it was just a day home then, not a lazy day
All right,
home,
fine.
but you got work done.
I lazy because I didn't go out. That's why I use the word lazy. So.
Oh, you're saying lazy because you didn't bother showering that day?
Oh, no, I showered.
Oh, why?
Because I wanted to. I shower every day. I get up in the morning, I shower.
Sometimes it's good to give your skin a break.
I guess I suppose so. So I apologize. Yes, 2 and 1. So 2. You're right. So anyway, but that was it. So it was movie. Other than the work I did, it was movie day. We actually watched 3, Halloween-esque movies.
See, that was the other thing.
We're gonna do that on Halloween. We'll do that on Halloween. We'll do that on the Halloween show.
So which ones did you watch?
We watched both Addams Family and Addams Family Values. So we watched both Addams Families.
Very nice.
Okay. And then we topped that off after dinner with Sleepy Hollow from '99 with Johnny Depp.
I haven't seen that one in a while. We watched, I think, Friday night. Yeah, Friday night we watched The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of a courtroom thriller than.
Yeah, it's more of a courtroom kind of a thing, but yeah.
But yeah, that was a well done movie. Really, really made you think. I enjoy movies like that. I'm not a big hacker. Well, you know what? We'll get into this on Halloween.
Yeah, let's talk about it on Halloween. So,
speaking of scary stuff, put up Eddie's comment there. This is scary to anybody who does not like the cold.
Okay. He said, that's what I'm talking about. Going camping next week. There you go.
There we go. In the rain and the cold and the.
Yeah, that's scary. Depending on who you are, that can be very scary.
I have camped in weather this cold and even colder. I remember one night up in the what was that mountain chain in the Adirondacks? There's I can't remember the name of it right now, but we were in one of the lean-tos. And usually I'm one of those that likes to sleep with my arm out and, under my head. I had to pop it in because I woke up in pain because of frostbite on my fingers. Yeah. We checked the thermometer once we all woke up after it got so cold. It dropped to 20 degrees.
Lovely.
That night. It was that's a bit chilly.
Yeah. At Witchcraft last year, one of John Henderson's beer fests down in the Pinelands, which is pretty cool, right? Both nighttime beer fests, 7 to 11 and change. And I camped out on the Friday night. That night, I mean, we sat around a campfire till probably 4 a.m, drinking way too much. But it didn't matter because the next thing we had to do was 7 o'clock the next night. So it was fine. But yeah, when we went into the tents at 4 a.m., it was 28 degrees. And that was in October.
Yeah, that's chilly.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's chilly. Anyway. So I'll be interested to know where Eddie's actually going to be camping.
Exactly, and we got a comment
because he might be camping in Florida, as far as we know.
He could be camping in Tahiti,
but knowing
on the
Eddie,
beach with a palm tree and
knowing Eddie, he's camping somewhere up near Cooperstown.
There you go. We have a comment from Tom Mulvihill too. He says, "Hey guys, tuned in late, but I can't drink with you two on a Tuesday." I'm assuming he means without us two on a Tuesday.
I was gonna say you've drank with us on a Tuesday before.
I'm assuming he meant without us two on a Tuesday. I'm assuming that's what he meant. Tom, let us know that is what you meant.
Yeah, we'll see.
There we go. And it's Harriman State Park is where.
Okay, so that's near Bear Mountain. That's not a bad place to be.
Not a bad place at all. Not a bear place. Not a bad place at all.
Unless there's bears. But if you know how to do this. Up here, we only have the black bears, and if you know how to deal with them, you're perfectly safe.
You can deal with a black bear. I mean, we don't have grizzly bears here, knock on wood. But if you
brown bears here,
no brown bears. If you come across a grizzly bear, you're kind of fucked.
It depends. There's times where you can just sit there, look at them. They'll look at you, and they'll just wander off. But every now and then you get that rogue grizzly bear. There was a couple that were killed by a grizzly bear. Last month, and they had called for help using their GPS device, as a matter of fact, and so that's how their bodies were found. But every now and then, a grizzly bear is going to go rogue. they're very, very dangerous animals. Not as dangerous as polar bears.
No.
Polar bears are the only animal on the planet that look at humans as prey. That's not true. There's 2 animals on the planet that look at humans as prey: grizzly bears and chihuahuas.
Yes, and
polar bears and chihuahuas. Polar bears can actually do something about it.
I can think of a third, but we'll leave that for another show too. But in any event, all right, my top 3.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're doing our top 3.
My top 3 is excuse me. I'll give a couple honorable mentions. 1 because it's an honorable mention, and 2 because one of them you mentioned already. So honorable mention, football. All right, it's an honorable mention because it starts technically in summer, but it's fall. Like you think of football, you think of fall. I mean, football starts at the very tail end of summer and it stops only about halfway in the middle of winter. So the entire fall is football. There's parts of the winter that aren't football. There's parts of the summer that aren't football. The entire fall is football. So football, definitely, 100%. My other honorable mention is food. Dave's absolutely right. Chili alone. I have 2 different chilies I make. I make my red chili, I make my green chili. I make them during the fall.
The green chili is green it's just red chili left out too long, so it molds.
I leave it, I cook it, and I leave it on the counter for about 4 weeks.
Yep.
And then we have green chili.
It goes green, and
it's very tasty. A little tart, but very tasty.
Very earthy.
A little earthy, yeah. No. It's a different kind of chili in any event. But
actually, there's a third type of chili, white chili, and Brian Olschel makes the best white chili.
I don't make white. Well, we've had a chili day where I made my red and my green, and Brian made his white. So
they did the Italian flag.
Yes, we did.
And one of these days we'll have to have John do his green, Brian do his white, because I only do red.
There you go. So we'll do that. All right, my top 3.
Varying shades of red.
Varying shades, right? Exactly. So my number 3.
50 shades.
50 Shades of Red. Yeah, that sounds like a Sweeney Todd reference. But back to movies. There we go.
Kinky Sweeney Todd.
Yeah.
Right. Kinky Todd.
Kinky Todd, right. All right, so my number 3. The fall itself. The leaves falling, crisp weather, sweater weather. I'm not
stuff and falling.
Anybody that knows me, I'm a shorts guy, right? I start wearing shorts after St. Patrick's Day.
I think talking about the brewery from Michigan. Okay.
Shorts, no, shorts is good too. That is very good.
Okay.
Right? But when I got to pull out the jeans, right? I got to put on jeans. Sweater weather, crisp temperatures, fire pits. I can turn on my fire pit with I put my fire pit on.
You know what? If you use deodorant, that wouldn't happen.
You're a funny guy. Anyway, now I put on my fire. I light my fire pit during the summer months too, but it's more of an ambiance kind of a thing. Or if it's a little chillier night,
no one can get near the damn thing.
It's too damn hot, right?
Summer,
but yeah, the fall, it's for a reason, right? It's a purpose to it, so it's a good thing. So that's my number 3. My number 2, Dave said it before. I can't take it and make an honorable mention. It's my number 2. End of story. Bottom line. Beer season. It's all about the beer season. It's the beers that we drink that are available from local breweries and and national breweries, and even coming over from international. Yeah. From September through into January, really. That you're going to get all the German styles, all the heavier beers, the pumpkin ales, the Oktoberfest, into the winter warmers and everything else.
My favorite style.
Pumpkin, of course.
The stouts. Yeah. The stouts. I've always.
Absolutely.
I am what I drink, and I am stout.
You are stout. This is very true. So that's my number 2. My number 1, the holidays coming up. All right. When fall kicks off, when the weather.
Spoken like someone who never really worked retail.
Oh, no. I've worked retail. I know where you're going. Fortunately, I don't have to deal with as much. I don't now. Well, I do kind of, but I didn't when I did work retail have to deal with as much crap as you have to now. But that's besides the point. That out the window. Holidays coming up, and I don't just mean Christmas. I mean everything. I mean, the weather.
Kwanzaa. He means
no. Let me say mine, okay? Damn you. No, it starts in October, right? It's all the way through. It's the Oktoberfest, Halloween, We get into November. We got a lot of
Columbus
Thanksgiving.
Day. No.
With Columbus Day, that's in October. But no, Thanksgiving. My favorite fall holiday is Thanksgiving, and my favorite holiday period is Thanksgiving, above Christmas and New Year's and everything else. Thanksgiving, because you still have the next 6 weeks. You got all the holidays. You got everything, and the merriment, and the food, and the beer, and the parties, and the celebrations, and getting together, and the gatherings. It's wonderful, and of course, this goes on all year for us.
My favorite thing about the holidays is
what's that? When they're over, January.
Eggnog.
There you go. I love eggnog. I'm a huge eggnog guy, and I mean that literally. I'm a huge eggnog guy. Okay.
Well, we may have to do something involving that. Maybe not on this show.
Maybe on I don't know, some other show that broadcasts from.
Maybe a show that concentrates more on spirits as well as beer and something like that.
It might be. I think I know of a show. I think there's this gentleman.
A sister channel.
A sister channel. A sister channel. Right. Exactly. So we'll have to.
So we'll see about that.
Something like that. So anyway,
was that the sister channel we did our port show on?
Yeah, I believe it is.
Because I've got a new acquisition, John.
Very nice. Very nice. Puma 20.
Wars.
Would you pour it already?
You mean this?
I guess you did.
No. Yeah. No. Yeah.
So you've turned this into a port show right before we're going to end the show.
No, this is called Nightcap.
Nightcap. There you go.
God, this is so good.
All right. So we got a lot coming up for you. We got a lot over the next, as far as what's booked over the next couple months and beyond. Of course, we're going to have plenty of stuff beyond that too. But over the next couple months, we got a lot of really good shows coming up over the next couple months. So stay tuned. Start with next week, cider show next week. We're having a cidery. A couple people from that cidery, including the owner, on the show. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And then, like I said, just the shows are going to be phenomenal coming up. So you're going to want to pay attention.
Yes, we're going to get on a roll with some butter,
little butter, maybe
maybe some jam. Actually, no, I prefer some Taylor ham, cheese, egg.
Yeah,
all pepper ketchup.
I can go for that as well. Actually, I wouldn't mind bacon, egg, cheese occasionally. That requires a
roll. Salt, pepper, ketchup as well.
It does require salt, pepper, ketchup. Although lately, I got to be honest with you, for both the pork roll / Taylor ham, and the bacon, egg, and cheese, I haven't been putting ketchup on for some reason. For the last maybe 6-8 months, maybe a year, I've been putting salt and pepper, but no ketchup.
Are you even from New Jersey?
I believe me, I used to put more ketchup than bacon or salt or egg, and it was like a ketchup sandwich with bacon, egg, and cheese.
So those who not from Jersey will explain. Salt, pepper, ketchup is one word. Usually, when you go in, you ask for a pork roll, egg and cheese, Taylor ham, egg and cheese, bacon, egg and cheese, sausage, egg and cheese. Any place that you're ordering it from in New Jersey is going to ask you salt, pepper, ketchup. It's one word.
It's spelled like that.
Yeah, that's it right there. Salt, pepper, ketchup.
Salt, pepper, ketchup.
And it's either yes or no. It's not. It's never salt and pepper yes, ketchup no.
Right.
Unless you've been John recently. So
I've been on a. I've been on a kick for maybe it's probably about 6 months. I've been on a kick.
An anti-ketchup kick?
Not an anti-ketchup kick. Not there. Don't go there. It's not
something against tomatoes?
No, it's not an anti-ketchup kick. It's a desire to taste more of the bacon, egg, and the cheese with the salt and pepper bringing out the flavor without the ketchup on it. So I'm just getting the flavors of the sandwich without the ketchup clouding it up a little bit. Now, I love ketchup and on those sandwiches. Okay. I am not somebody that loves ketchup or even likes ketchup or even considers ketchup on a hot dog. I do.
No. That, okay. And you can write letters if you want. You put ketchup on a hot dog. We can't be friends.
There's only two times. I will say two. There's only 2 times that tomatoes belong on a hot dog.
Chicago dog.
And if I'm putting hot dog onions on my hot dog because it's tomato
sauce in it. Or paste. Yes, paste.
Just paste. Yeah,
paste. Yes. Those are the only two times it's acceptable.
I'll stretch it. I did forget. My bad. Chili. You put chili on a hot dog. There's tomato.
Yes, there is tomato in there.
All right, there's 3 times.
I can add three times. There's 3.
And this ashtray and this bench.
And my faithful dog shithead. Oh no, I was gonna go with I was actually channeling the Spanish Inquisition. Three things.
Yeah. No, the good Lord Jehovah gives down these 10 commandments.
No, but there's a 4th thing I will add there is if Pink's wants to put tomatoes on or ketchup or anything on any conglomeration that they make with any of their meat in tube form, I'm down with it. And if you've never been to Pink's in East Hollywood, and you're in the West whatsoever, you have to get the Pink's. It is. I've been there a couple of times, and I know a lot of people on this side of the Mississippi have never had the pleasure of being there. But if you get there and you're a hot dog aficionado whatsoever, I consider them the 2nd greatest hot dog place in this country.
First one being
Rut Hut.
There you go. All right. And we've come back. There we go. All right. Cool. All right. Anything else we want to discuss with everybody tonight? Or
no, we had a topic that we were going to talk about. We're going to save that. We're going to save that to discuss with a nationally syndicated. Actually, even beyond, is he national? Beyond internationally syndicated.
He lives in Canada, so that alone makes him international. So.
And we want to discuss it with him because we're certain because he brought some amazing insights into the sell-off of Anchor, which is still going on. So we really want to talk to him to see where that is.
He was on the show. He was on the show about a month and a half ago, and he's going to come back on, and we're going to talk about this other topic, which we'll get to. It's probably going to be in a couple of weeks. That's one of the shows. It's the only show we're waiting for confirmation on. It's going to be the show after Halloween, if it happens. So, but it'll happen just depending on when.
He's got a very unique angle. From a legal and financial perspective. So, John's in the brewery industry as a brewer, and he was a bar manager. So he's got that angle. I bring I like to drink the shit angle. Which is important. Which is very, very important. Kind of drives the business. So, if you can make all the beer you want, if no one drinks it, you've got a problem. So, at any rate, we're going to explore this one topic. We're going to tease the topic a little bit here.
Sure, go for it.
Yeah, so, the craft beer, the Brewers Association.
This is a show that's going to be, if it happens on time, it's going to be in 3 weeks. So this is a 3-week tease.
The Brewers Association announced the mid-year results for craft beer. And for the first time in a very long time, craft beer lost percentage in their segment of the shares of alcohol sales. So we're going to discuss why.
Reasons why. And we have several, so we're going to bring them up. And we're going to talk.
John and I have brought up talking together. We brought up 5. It'll be interesting to see if Don brings up others, and I'm sure he will.
We'll talk to Don about it, and we'll uncover the mystery of why this could be. Now, granted, fortunately, it's only 2%, right?
Yeah,
it lose 50% or anything like that.
But 2%. Then again, this is the first time it's taken a step back.
This is true.
A very, very long time. There's a lot of factors involved there. We're going to discuss that. We hope you tune in for when this show comes out because we'd love to hear from all of you as to what you think is going on.
Exactly. Any shows such as that, by the way, going forward, any shows such as that where we really want opinions leading up to the show, even not just during the show, we will post more than the day before.
You guys have 3 weeks to think about it.
Yeah, 3 weeks to think about it.
Do your homework.
All right. So, anyway. All right. On that note, we will wrap this show up for today. We want to thank everybody for watching. And for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thank you for listening. Don't forget to visit our website, www.lagerroom.com. That's LAGERROOM.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and of course our YouTube channel. All of them are at The Lager Room. Remember, we go live with a video podcast on both Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, which is now X, or X, which used to be Twitter, however you want to say it, and Twitch every Tuesday night around 6:30 p.m.
Which used to be Twitch.
Correct. Around 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And for those of you who just want to listen to the audio podcast, you can do so on our brand new audio podcast host, Spreaker, as well as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Castbox, Deezer, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, pretty much anywhere you can get a podcast, an audio podcast, you'll find us. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one or more of those feeds and you will never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend. Drink a lot of beer, but drink responsibly. And we will talk to you soon, folks. Take care. Cheers.
Cheers.
They found the face down in his waffles, maple syrup dripping from his fake rub. Who did he see when he heard who was there? Now it seems that he shit out of love.